Hello YouTube, Speed Viper, and welcome back to the Reverse Grid Series. We are in America for the US Grand Prix at Indianapolis, and I'm actually a little bit concerned over the top four on the starting grid because Rosberg had the 4th worst time, Trulli the 3rd, Liuzzi the 2nd, and Montagny the worst time by about 2 seconds. I can only go off what the Wikipedia page gives me, and it didn't give me any reason for why they sort of had their own mini reverse grid at the back, but they did, so I can only put that in. I don't know if they had a penalty or if they did, how severe the penalty was, but so they're going to be starting like that. Midlands, both cars got into Q2 along with Scott Speed. Speed actually qualified 13th IRL, so brilliant driving from him in the Toro. So obviously this could be somewhere where they gain a bit, but then again he out-qualified both Red Bull cars, so good job Speed. Anyway, let's get into it. Of course we have both Ferraris at the back of the grid. Brilliant qualifying from them. Schumacher the only one to get into the 1-minute 10s in Q3. So fantastic driving.
Only seconds to go before
the entire grid awaits the lights to go out. We're going to be on 5 lights around about now, and the lights are out. It is away, and Trulli looks to have got a decent start, as Rosberg looks to have got a pretty good start actually. He's looking to go up the inside, taking a very tight line. He's got to watch out for Liuzzi, to be fair, as he'll look to try use the slipstream, and I have a feeling he's going to lose a bit of time in the slower infield section of track, as it looks like Rosberg's sparking a little bit actually. The only car that seems to significantly have that orange glow under the car, so maybe just sparking a little bit. Maybe it's the design of the floor at the bottom, but Trulli looking to pull away from Rosberg here. He's looking to put a big enough gap before the front runners start coming through. It's all kicking off further back.
That's the end of his race today, and he will be devastated.
Massa's out!
Like he's got caught up in that one as well.
The world championship leader is out. We're gonna have to take a look at a replay. Okay, so here we go. We've just exited the slow corner. We're approaching the incident now. Just way too aggressive from Felipe Massa. And yeah, that's an out race. So after that drama of lap 1, Jarno Trulli leads the way from Rosberg, and him, Rosberg and Liuzzi are all looking to build a gap, but Rosberg is getting into the slipstream and he's having a look up the inside into turn 1, almost slots it up the inside, but Trulli hangs on to first place as Liuzzi just watches it all unfold in front of him.
Leads. Second is Nico Rosberg, Liuzzi 3rd, 4th is Ide, in 5th is Sato, in 6th is Coulthard, Kian is 7th, and Montero 8th.
All tightly packed together as they'll all be just slipstreaming each other, and it'll negate any advantage that someone can get really. But Montoya having a look at Heidfeld, but it hasn't quite worked out for him, and he's coming under a little bit of fire from Raikkonen, who has a look around the outsides and ends up almost running onto the grass as Renault's come out of nowhere. Fisichella and Alonso have just completely done in Ralf Schumacher. One goes one way, the other goes the other way, and they've both taken the Toyota 15th and 16th for the Renaults. As how is the battle at the front doing? A little bit more spread out than it was before, but that is clear, looking to take advantage of the Super Guris. And he's going to try and get past both, I think. Engine failure for Thiago Montero. He is out of the race.
He's up from 7th.
And the
David Coulthard is
Renaults.
7th. And Webber
Renaults
is
need
8th.
to calm down because
That's a
they've
gain
just
of 2
blitzed
places.
everybody on that main straight. Alonso up into 11th place, and he is now on the back of Scott Speed. Of course, he took advantage as well of Montero's engine failure. Has a look around the outside. Speed tries to force him outside the white lines. And Fisichella couldn't quite get past Nick Heidfeld as well, so Alonso squeezes it up the inside into the tight left-hander. Goes around the outside through the hairpin style right-hander and gets the move done as Nick Heidfeld tries to take advantage now, and he goes around the outside through that 90-degree corner, and he has got the job
Looks
done.
like Jarno Trulli has pulled out all the stops. That last lap time was a 1:11.2.
Jarno Trulli building the gap now.
Put some space between himself and Nico Rosberg. His lap times are around the mid 1:11 mark. The gap now stands at 1.3 seconds.
This mid-pack is where I want to be keeping an eye on. So they're all pretty close to there, a little bit touching.
Speed! There's some minor damage to his right
Yeah,
rear
I
tyre.
thought so.
That
I
incident
saw some
hasn't
smoke,
ended his race,
and
but he'll
that
have
has
to
given him a
work hard
puncture.
if he wants some points. Fisichella's involved in that one as well. It looks like he's got away scot-free.
As Webber has a look at getting past Takuma Sato for 7th place, but it doesn't work, and he could come under pressure from Fernando Alonso, the current world champion, and I believe he's sat in last place in the standings. As he has a look at getting past Mark Webber here, but it hasn't worked out for him, and he's still outside the points positions.
Trulli is really turning this
Toyota
into a
and Williams are the massive gainers out of this, I think.
was a 1:11.23. He continues to pull
As
away
are
from
Red
Rosberg.
Bull.
The gap has extended to
And
2.6
with
seconds.
him being out, this could be Coulthard's perfect opportunity to close in, as that is a rear wing flying.
It's Coulthard! Looks like there's some damage to his rear wing.
That's
He'll
David
have to see if his
Coulthard's.
team can replace it. It's far too risky to stay out there with any kind of damage to the rear wing. His race is over today, and he's not happy with that.
Right, well, there was certainly no contact. That is just him out the race. Where's Speed at, actually? Ah, that's where he is. Right. Starting to get, he's going to start to get in the way of the front runners if he's not careful. Ooh, Liuzzi gets pretty close. And Alonso up into 6th place now is going to look at getting past Montagny pretty quickly
Trulli is really turning this into
as
a
Speed
challenge.
pulls off
That last lap
into the
time
pit lane.
was a 1:11.51. He continues to pull away from Rosberg. The gap is now out to exactly 3 seconds.
And up the inside, that is surely going to be an easy move for Alonso. Yeah, he's already passed before the braking zone. How about this mid-pack? There's Fisichella up into 9th place. A little bit of contact with Kimi Räikkönen, but it is all good. And there is Montoya trying to go side by side with Jenson Button, but the British driver takes the place. 12th place for Button, as Montoya runs pretty wide, but Michael Schumacher isn't able to take advantage of it yet, as Button runs wide now, and Montoya had a look but doesn't do anything with it, as Heidfeld trying to take advantage of the situation, as Alba's mixed in there. So yeah, so Fisichella is trying to take the points position away from Takuma Sato. He's going around the outside. That hasn't worked, and the Super Guri defends the place for now. Fernando Alonso is going to be looking to close in and
Trulli
clear, and
is
we'll see
really
what
turning
sort
this
of
into a
times he can do
challenge.
now.
That last lap time was a 1:11.28. He continues to pull away from Rosberg. The gap has now increased to 3.7 seconds. Let's take a look at the current top 8 positions. Trulli leads.
Webber is up
Second
into
is Nico
6th place
Rosberg.
now. and it is sort of
Clean is in fourth
mucked
place.
up the timings a bit.
Is fifth.
It's just kind of down to 10th now. He didn't get past Sato.
He's moved up from 8th. And Sato
Okay.
is in 8th. He's down from 7th.
Meanwhile, Raikkonen did. He's going to get onto the back of Montagny pretty quickly. But this is not what Fisichella needs to do. He needs to get past as quickly as he can, because he could take advantage of this situation. Just to take a look at the Drivers' Championship. So Massa is out ahead on a 16-point gap. This is a perfect opportunity for the cars behind to close in. Michael Schumacher and Fisichella are two looking to do so. And Ralf Schumacher's down in 16th. So the ones looking to capitalise the most are Fisichella and Michael Schumacher, but neither of them are in the points. The one in the points at the moment in the top half is Frank Montagny in 7th place. That will put him ahead of Michael Schumacher potentially, as Schumacher up into 9th place. Fisichella is really struggling at the moment, as Button just makes it easy getting past Sato, as does Michael Schumacher, and he gets past Fisichella as he does so. So Fisichella seems to be struggling at the moment, and that could cost him dearly. Surely, where is he sat? He's only sat on 2 points, so that's not going to have a massive effect in the championship. Neither is Rosberg really. He's on 15 points. So that will put him right up there. It's still very tight, second downwards, but Massa, the first to get into the 30s, and before anyone else has got into 30s, he's got into the 40s. So, yeah.
The gap is now over 5 seconds. This is lap 9. Trulli leads. Second is Nico Rosberg. Liuzzi third. Clean is in 4th place. Alonso is
He's going to look to take advantage here. I don't think he's going to be able to unless he slots up the inside into the corner. He tries to do so, but he isn't able to. And Michael Schumacher is into the points, and Fisichella isn't. It is so tight in that upper midfield in the championship standings, and it's pretty tight towards the back, but I mean Alonso is still down there, and Montoya is as well, I think. So yeah, because Montoya was set to go right towards the top end of the field and then had an engine failure. He was set for 2nd place, so that would put him at 16 points, around where Raikkonen is now, and yeah, he retired due to an engine failure. As Trulli is dominating this race, Liuzzi is going to start to come under pressure from Christian Klein.
We're at 2/3 race.
But Toro Rosso really need these points, so
Rosberg. Liuzzi third.
it's very tight. It's pretty intense in the championship standings.
In 7th,
Liuzzi needs these points. He needs this 3rd place. That'll put him on quick maths, 15 points, so that'll put him towards the front end of the field, about mid-pack, and that would just close them in on the field, because Renault are set for some decent points, McLaren are set for some points as well. So as to his Toyota, they're set for 10 points at the moment, so it's getting pretty tight at the back end of the field. Midfield, back end, it's getting really tight, as Button, perfect timing from me, Jenson Button is out with an engine failure. Sato and Ralf Schumacher getting a bit argy-bargy. Sato hangs on to 14th, I think, so
that's a good time for Michael Schumacher, his fastest tour of the circuit so far. His last was a 1:10.46, much faster than Webber. He's lapping in the low 12s.
And Schumacher up the inside to take 7th place away from Mark Webber. and Fisichella still isn't in the points at the moment, so it's not looking too great for Fisichella. But Liuzzi doesn't have to worry about Klein, but he does have to worry about Alonso. No, he doesn't, because Fernando Alonso is out with an engine failure. That changes everything, really. Michael Schumacher up to 6th place. Webber stays back in 7th. Fisichella up to 8th.
Much faster than Webber. He's touring in the mid-112s currently.
There's a big attrition rate at this track, seemingly, and that's giving Liuzzi a little bit more breathing room. He's just by himself, really, out on track. He's not too far behind Rosberg, to be fair.
Second is Nico
But Klein is probably more likely for him to be battling with in the last stages of the race.
He's moved up from 6th. Michael Schumacher 6th. Webber 7th. And Fisichella 8th.
Fisichella looking to take 7th place now, and now they're starting to take advantage of the fact that Massa is out of this race. Coulthard is out too, so Schumacher is going to be going up into 2nd place in the championship. Fisichella currently set for 3rd place.
That's a better time than Webber. His lap times are in the low 113s, high 112s.
Can Schumacher close down Raikkonen? I think Liuzzi could take 3rd place. I don't want to jinx it. I really do want to see Liuzzi get this podium position. And Charlie's actually not too far away from the lapping Scott speed, so that's interesting. It's sort of calmed down a bit now as some of the cars have started to disappear from the track. We're down to 16.
Klein is closing in as we watch the final few laps of this race pan out. The pressure is now on for Liuzzi.
There is Klein. There.
At present, the gap between them is 2 seconds.
2 seconds
a
the gap.
Great initial sector there. The gap has decreased to 1.7 seconds.
So 3/10 out of the gap in the first sector. It's getting pretty tight between the two Red Bull drivers. As I nearly dropped my iPad on the floor, it's fine. So as I was saying, it's getting pretty close.
Again after another superb sector. He looks as if he's trying to prove a point. That's reduced the gap by 4/10.
1.3 by quick maths. So it's getting towards that second gap, and Klein looks like he could take it maybe on the final lap.
To 1.5 seconds.
So the Toro Rosso, as I predicted, they're seemingly great in that final sector compared to Klein. Probably had a little bit better acceleration off the final corner to help him on the run down to the start-finish line.
Fisichella 7th, and in 8th place is Juan Pablo Montoya.
That's another sector where Liuzzi has been quicker. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second.
Oh, Liuzzi is reacting to Klein. He's closed the gap. Extended the gap. It dropped down to 1.3 from 2 seconds, and it's gone back up to 1.6. So pretty evenly matched, these two. Don't expect anything less, really. Schumacher's ahead of Raikkonen, actually.
Well. The gap is now 1.6 seconds. This is the final lap of the race for leader Trulli.
Look at the gap he has.
Trulli has had an incredible drive here today. He started on pole, but it's still testimony to his driving skills that he's at the head of the pack on the last lap of the race. Liuzzi is starting to do a bit better. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second. With just 1 lap to go, it looks like Klein has raised his game. He might actually catch him.
He might, but it is
his car's in good shape,
pretty
and he can
tight.
have no complaints about its performance. Klein knows he has to respond, and he's doing well. He's reduced the gap by another 1/10 of a second.
It's not enough. the gap is pretty tight between Clean and Liuzzi, but Liuzzi is a fantastic driver, and I think he's going to hang on to third place. But Jarno Trulli rounds the banking, and he comes across the line to take victory in America for the Toyota team.
0.2 of a second. Trulli takes the checkered flag and the full 10
Rosberg
points.
comes across the line, second place for him, and Liuzzi in the Cosworth-powered Toro Rosso in their first season takes third place in the race in America. Clean fourth, brilliant driving from him. Schumacher fifth, Raikkonen sixth, Fisichella seventh, and Montoya rounds out the points. Very spread out as I expected, and it was just action-packed from the start. 16 runners finished the race out of 22, so a pretty high attrition rate, but not quite at the extreme level. So that has closed the gap at the top, not by much, but Michael Schumacher is in second place in the championship now. And quick maths tells me 13-point gap.
2005. Indianapolis has hosted a fantastic race here today. It's been a credit to everyone involved. The fans attending the circuit
the next
today
round
have been treated
it's going to be an interesting one. It's the French Grand Prix out of the Magny-Cours
from the
circuit.
scenes of last year. But this is exactly what F1 racing in America needs.
But for now,
2 weeks from now, we'll be back in familiar F1 territory at Magny-Cours in the heart of rural France. I hope you'll join us then. Goodbye for now.
We are off to the championship standing screen, and the two Brazilians were up first. Don't think that's trying to imply anything, but you know. So taking a look at the driver standings then, and Felipe Massa, yeah, he went out, but he's still got a massive gap back. So Michael Schumacher, his teammate, is now in second place on 27 points. That is a 16-point gap. Fisichella and Rosberg are now joint on points. So Fisichella, he looked at the start like someone maybe to take the championship, but he looks like he's starting to drop back a little bit, so he maybe needs to just get back into gear. Coulthard is dropping down as well, of course. He didn't finish in this race along with Felipe Massa. It's all pretty tight. I mean, Jarno Trulli goes joint on points with his teammate now, Ralf Schumacher, and he's gone from 14th to 8th with just that one win. It's incredibly tight in the mid-pack and the upper part of the field. Hopefully it can continue, because you know, I'd actually kind of want to see maybe Michael Schumacher, maybe Fisichella chase down Felipe Massa. I don't want Massa walking away with the championship, although it would be nice to see the Brazilian win the title. So looking at the constructors standings then, Ferrari up to 70 points, and you'll notice Scuderia, although they're now ahead of Honda on this, it doesn't say they've changed position. I actually miscalculated the last race's constructor standings for Scuderia. I forgot to add in E-Days, of course. E-Day doesn't race for the team anymore. He was dropped in favour of Montagny, and after the next race actually, which will be at the Magny-Cours circuit in France, Montagny will actually be dropped. His home race was his final outing for Scuderia, so that'll be the third driver change, and in will be Sakon Yamamoto, I think. But Toyota with the win from Jarno Trulli, they move up ahead of Honda, and Red Bull closing in, as well as Williams and McLaren. Midland's dropping down along with Renault, who scored points, but they still dropped down a position, so that was due to Williams and McLaren both going ahead. BMW Sauber dropped down to 10th, and Toro Rosso still in last place. They've hung in that position for so long now. They're not the worst car on the grid, Scuderia is, but Scuderia is all the way up in second, and Toro Rosso is down in 11th. I don't know how that works, but it does apparently. So the next race is in France. That is going to be a little bit of an interesting one. Not overly favouring the smaller teams, but at the same time there is a couple of corners where if you manage to defend into it, you could potentially hold out for a position for a little bit longer if you're in a slower car. But all you're going to have to do is just join me then.